Right, just halfway through cleaning the birdroom out. Decided to have a break and have a cup of tea. I'm going to wash the floor in a minute and pick up a few bits and pieces off the floor and tidy them away. It's only 4 cages I haven't cleaned at the moment. 2 of the Rasa cages and the 2 5 cages down the bottom, but otherwise the cages are done. Not nothing really to report since last time actually, but I'll just as I have been doing, I'm just doing the weekly report while I clean them up. And, just look at a few of the chicks. Some coming through the molt. The first round chicks are sort of nearly finishing their first molt now. And, that's one of the youngsters. It's the second round. Yeah, that was from the second round. Pretty sure that's a hen. Just got a feeling. Nice little bird, that nice markings, nice bit of character. And then these 3 chicks still with the parents. Not for long though, they are starting to feed themselves. The hen is still laying, but I'm throwing them out and she'll be separated. That pair will be separated up in a few days time. Give her a well-earned rest. She's been really good. Another, that's probably my favourite chick. That's one from the second round. I like that bird. And it's brother or sister. This one actually, as it is really coming into its own, this might very well be the. It's between these 2. Those are the 2 of the best chicks, I think. Size wise and shape wise, head wise. Yeah, and colour wise, I like them. I like a nice variegated bird. And then she laid an egg this morning on the floor. Unfortunately, lovely hen, but didn't produce a fertile egg all year. But I'll give her another chance next year. There's me, the old cockbird. Singing his head off. He was earlier. He likes these cages. I'll zoom out and show you. Yeah, he likes these because he's sort of by the window and on the side of the birdroom. Most of the birds are on the back wall. The cockbirds do tend to like these wire cages. I put them in there in the winter. Some of the older birds, and they sing their heads off. But yeah, we had loads of rain yesterday. Well needed, as you all know probably. And but today, a bit of cloud cover and sun's out again. I'll just show you quickly what I use on the floor of the cages, because I was asked again, and I'll just show you what I use, what I like to use. Hold 1 second. Right, so what I use this absorbent cardboard sheeting, which you get in packs of. Well, this is a pack of 500 sheets actually, so it's lasted me a long time. And this is from Planet Avery's, I believe, but quite a few companies do them. But it's not very thick. It's absorbent, very clean, light, easy to use. just pop it in the bottom trays, and then what I do, I pop that in the tray. Then I have a mix. You see, that's a mix of bird sand and oyster shell grit. That's from Haves. Obviously, you can get it from anywhere, but that's just what I'll just it lasts absolutely ages, no matter how much you get. And I just every now and then I'll just get a small bag and add to it. But that's the bird sand and oyster shell grit, and I'll just pop a little bit of that. I just put a small sprinkle of that on the bottom of the cage, and then the birds pick over that, take out what they really enjoy. It gives them something interesting to do for a start, and yeah, you can see, hold on, I'll zoom in and show you. You can see that's in the cage. Gives them something interesting to pick over, and they take out the bits that they like the most, and what they need to put in their gizzard or whatever, ground up their food, whatever the scientific function actually is. But yeah, that's what and apart from it being I think it's good from a little bit of interest from digging around on the bottom of the cage. I find it's much cleaner for the birds. I don't use bottom trays because I don't like, as I've said before, I don't use the bottom trays, so the birds don't not bottom trays, the wire. Where a lot of people use they use the trays. I'll show you. They use the trays, but then they have a wire across the top, and the sort of like their cardboard or their sawdust is underneath the tray, and then underneath the wire, and the birds can't get to the flooring. They're standing on the wire covering, and their droppings go through. So I don't like that for a number of reasons, as I've said before. One, for the birds' feet, it damages their tails, I find, and also the wires get messy, obviously, so it's something else to clean. But main reason is I like them to have that bit of extra interest, for them to dig around on the bottom, and the grits obviously they need that, and it's good for them. And the other thing, I don't like sawdust or any of those sort of bedding materials that people use in the bottom of the cages. My birdroom is the air is very clean. I have been into some birdrooms, and you feel it in your throat and in your nostrils, where they've got all the sawdust, all the dust particles in the air. I haven't got that. My birdroom is very, very clean. The air. I remember visiting Steve Domine's birdroom a few years ago, and I picked some 5 canaries up off him. He's the sort of famous, if you can call it that, Yorkshire canary breeder, and also keeps fifes. And his birdroom was the same as mine. He used corrugated cardboard as his flooring, although he does use the wire floors on the top. And the atmosphere in his birdroom again is very, very clean and very nice to be in. But yeah, anyway, bit of waffle. Each to their own, of course, but that's how I prefer to do it. Middle of the day now, so the birds are sort of like especially the youngsters, a bit sort of dozy. You know, best time for the singing is I'll do it one day. I'll make a video first thing in the morning. You come in here at 6 o'clock and all the cocks are singing their heads off. And if those of you who've got bird rooms, obviously, you know, it can get quite, the noise can be quite deafening when all your cockbirds are singing and yeah, nice. So yeah, so nothing really changed, I'm afraid. Difficult to make these videos anything other than what they are. It's just to look at my birds and see what they're doing. So obviously when they've stopped breeding, other than looking at the individual birds, I'm not sure what I'm going to be able to sort of show of interest for you guys. Actually, I suppose that's why a lot of bird channels, especially the smaller ones, they don't bother making a film through there. Once the sort of breeding season's finished and you get to about October, a lot of them, they shut up shop and they don't film another video until, say, February, March. I'm guessing that's why, because there's not much of interest, but I'll see what I can do. Any ideas? Drop them below, because I'm going to run out soon. Yeah, I'm pleased with my white birds. Yeah, they're nice. Yeah, I'll be keeping both of those two. Both of my whites, just for something different in the bird room, to be honest. They're a bit of a novelty. They were the first round chicks. That yellow, that clear variegated there, I reckon that's definitely a cockbird, I would imagine. His colour is, you can't tell on the, you won't be able to tell on this video, but his colour is very intense, and especially on his throat. So I'll mark him down as a cockbird, I reckon. Could be wrong, I often am. Yeah, it's a lovely bird, that boy. Oh. Well, that was a useless bit of filming, sorry. Anyway, I'll check out now. As I say, just a little update to show you the birds. Here's the chicks and mum. Yeah, they'll be coming out soon. See again, this little clear buff hen. She was a disappointment this year. She laid loads of eggs. Quite a few, and they really let me down. Just didn't produce any fertile eggs. But anyway, never mind. I'm not that fussed. One thing I'm going to do, I've been thinking, you see here, the bottom of my, got these two double cages at the bottom. I'm thinking actually of taking the wires out of at least one of them and having and just using that as a storage and putting keeping food pots in it and stuff, keeping just so they're tucked away, because although I have got 2 5s down the bottom there, I don't really like having birds in the cages right at the bottom. So yeah, I might do that. With the middle one and just keep the 2, because I can always, if I needed the room, I could always put the wire back on if I needed them for birds, but they'd only be for overflow anyway, because I'm certainly not going to I'm not going to have birds that I'm breeding in the bottom. So it would only be if I'd had thousands of chicks. Obviously I've got plenty of room to pop them in, but yeah, so I might do that, take the wires out and just use them as storage, as a little storage area. I've still got a few bits on the floor that you just see I'm just tidying it all up as I'm cleaning up now. Just got to tidy all that up and wash the floor in a minute. Anyway, you don't want to see that, so right. Anyway, sorry, there's nothing exciting to see really, but it's just a quiz. There you go. Right, and on that, so sign out and see you next week sometime. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much. Cheers. Bye.